All right, guys, it is time for the preview section of Mount Ararat Podcast. This week, we're taking a look at two shows. The first one is going to be the N Innovation show from Saturday, May 14th, from Yokohama Radiant Hall. Let's run through these matches here. Take a look at them. The first one is going to be Juntu Miyawaki taking on Kenya Okada. This is your typical opening match. Young guys really going at each other passionately to decide who can get a big win, because wins are important to these guys. They don't get a lot of them. So when they face off against each other, they are extremely motivated to get the win because they need as many wins as they can get, and this is the best opportunity to have when they square off. Juntu Miyawaki, Kenya Okada, always a toss-up. Kenya Okada, to me, is the better wrestler. That's just my opinion. Juntu Miyawaki is the most passionate guy. Now, he's a great wrestler. And passion plays a major role in professional wrestling, and that's why you will see Juntu Miyawaki most likely win this. I think Kenya Okada is the better wrestler. I think he's the bigger guy. I think he's the stronger guy. But Juntu Miyawaki just has something that makes a little bit of a difference in professional wrestling, and that's why I would predict he will probably win this. Six-person tag team match, we've got the Congo Juniors Tadasuke, Hajime Ohara, and Haruki taking on Sushi, Katogi, Hal, and Alejandro. Now, I'm telling you one thing, Haruki needs to shake the dust off, get out there, get back to his former self, and show that he's not going to be continually blemished by that loss to Hal. I think he's going to do it here. I think we're going to see the return of Haruki. I think you're going to see him come back. I think you're going to see him snap out of this. Congo also needs a big win here. I know that Katogi, Hal, and Alejandro is as legitimate team as they come, as much as the Congo Juniors are. But Congo needs to get on the ball. Haruki especially needs to get on the ball. And I think both happen here, and the Congo Juniors win this, with Haruki maybe even pinning Hal in this matchup. I think it needs to happen. Tag team matchup next is Hayata teams with Kai Fujimura to take on Extreme Tiger and Yohei. Now, of course, you're going to see Fujimura as the weak link here, even though he's been having some great matches. His passion is up there as well. I really miss him teaming with Alejandro. I wish we'd get a tag team match with those two here. Even if this would have been Alejandro and Kai against Extreme Tiger and Yohei, I think it would have been a little more engaging. Nothing against Hayata. Hayata is great. He's the new junior heavyweight champion, and he's been looking as good as he's ever looked. But here it's a little bit of a preview match, as Hayata will be against Extreme Tiger, the latest challenger for the GHC Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion, the Junior Singles Heavyweight Champion. Extreme Tiger probably gets the win here. I don't know if they'll have him go over Hayata, probably over Fujimura, but I think your challenger gets the win here to look strong going into the singles match coming up down the line against Hayata. This match, I can't wait for. Chris Ridgeway versus Seiki Yoshioka. Seiki Yoshioka and Yuya Susumu have been fighting against Ridgeway and Ogawa. They want those junior tag titles. This is a preview of that. Ridgeway is part of the Foundation. I've thrown that out there before, a group that I consider myself a part of in some ways, since John Gresham said that to me on Twitter. I take that serious. Sorry, I love that group, and I miss them being a major part of wrestling. Ridgeway has brought everything he stands for and believes in when it comes to the Foundation into Stinger, and he's going to take this match extremely serious, as is Yoshioka. Seiki Yoshioka has, in these attacks, has looked as good as he's ever looked, in my opinion. As strong, as tough, as mean-spirited. But this is going to be a big ask for him to beat Chris Ridgeway. I don't see it happening, but if it does, it's going to show me that Noah is really getting behind Yoshioka, and that wouldn't be a bad thing, but I expect Chris Ridgeway to win this. Interesting tag match here, as Simon Gotch, who just recently teamed with Stinger, and I said I believe they fit together really well. Simon Gotch teaming with Ogawa to take on Kaito Kiyomiya and Yuya Susumu. Now, that's an interesting tag team. Kaito Kiyomiya is not in this mess, although he and Simon Gotch have had words and gotten in each other's face. So that is a single match I definitely want to see, Kiyomiya versus Gotch. And here we get to see them in a tag match, and Ogawa against Susumu is going to be as passionate can be. So this is going to be a fired up, fiery, ridiculous, strong matchup. Very difficult to predict here, but I'm going to say Gotch and Ogawa beat Susumu and Kiyomiya. Yes, I am predicting both Ridgeway and Ogawa's matches to be victors for the tag champs, when it might make more sense to say the challenger should get a win going into this. So I definitely could be wrong for that reason in and of itself. But Stinger just impresses me to a point that I can't get over the idea of Ogawa and Ridgeway losing. I just don't see that happening, even though I respect the hell out of Susumu and Yoshioka, and we know Kiyomiya is one of the best around and doesn't lose matches very often. So this will be a good one. And finally, the main event. And honestly, I'm to the point where I don't really care about these Z-Brats anymore. I don't understand how they won their matchup against the Noah Jr. regulars. It sort of baffles me. And the man who's behind the booking of Noah is now gone, so maybe we'll see something different here. I mean, there's no doubt Daisuke Harada's winning this. He's the better wrestler. HYO is not in his league. No, I don't watch him regularly. No, I don't watch Dragon Gate. But what I've seen of HYO, I just know that's just the truth. Daisuke Harada is one of the best juniors in the world. He gets a win here. I'm not saying it's an easy win, but he shouldn't overly struggle against HYO. And so I think Daisuke Harada wins the main event here handily, to a point to show that this Noah Jr. is definitely better than this Dragon Gate Jr., beyond a shadow of a doubt. But that's my predictions on this show. It's kind of a small show, not a bunch of matches, not anything. Ridgeway and Yoshioka is the star of this show, in my opinion. I love singles matches. Look, there's nothing wrong with these tag matches. They're going to be fun and solid and interesting. Congo bounces back, hopefully, to make me excited, because Congo definitely needs wins. And Harada against HYO, but I just think Harada's way better. So Ridgeway and Yoshioka, to me, is the chance to steal this show. We'll have to wait and see. That's coming up in just a few days, guys. Again, that is on Saturday, May 14th. That'll be here. That starts at 17:30 in Japan time, if I'm correct. I think that's around 5:30 a.m. here on the East Coast Saturday morning. I will be at work and unable to watch this probably until Monday morning. But of course, I'll be covering on the next edition. I'll be reviewing this show on the next edition of Mount Ararat Podcast. Now let's move on to the next preview.